Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Alumni Talks. Today we have Mr. Suvesh, who has done the course from DataMites 2 years ago and been working as a data scientist for past 2 years. Currently working as a senior associate lead at Xtria. Suvesh is here with us to share his experience on past 2 years when he started the career as data scientist, what kind of work he has done, and then how did you progress in the career, what kind of projects he handled, and maybe um, career growth tips. I think he is currently moving to Belgium to assume a new role. So what today we'd like to hear his experience and guidance for the people who are aspiring or who already switched to data science looking for a growth and how to learn while you're working. Thank you, Suvesh, for joining us.
Thank you, Ashok. Thank you. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone.
So it's not a guided session as such. It's more like a casual session.
Okay.
We can start with what is your past year's experience? Are you liking this job? I mean, a lot of people say that data science is another IT job, so you don't really use your brains. Is that true, or data science is something interesting? What's your experience?
Okay. As you said that people are saying that data science is a normal IT job. I strongly disagree to that. It is not a straightforward IT job. There is some logic behind why is the industry going towards this data revolution or data science revolution. There's, I mean, it's a very basic understanding in the market that people do compensate a lot on salary rather than data scientists to rather than other engineers like a full stack developer. No offense to them, but yes, data scientists are currently it's currently the best job in the market, is as per I can understand. So there's something which we are doing rather more important or complicated. So that is where the usage of brains. So data science in many companies is called decision scientists. Okay. So as my domain here at Axtria is a decision science, we have a domain called decision science. Now, decision science is where you come into picture, and here we take our decisions and we have to justify our decisions. Okay. So in a normal engineer or a normal developer just works with the guide. I mean, as Ashok said, it's not a guided thing. So a normal engineer who does different development sort of work, it's all a guided. What I feel is it's all a guided stuff. I mean, you have a button, you want to put some functionality to it. You just have to Google around what do you want, that if you want this, and you have to find it in Google and you just copy paste. That's not the game here. Here you have to take your own decision. You have to analyze the data, and every data is different from each other. You have to understand the business as well, then take a decision. And that is why data science industry is blooming and is important.
Okay, wonderful, Suresh. Great. You're right at the point where most of the IT engineers. I'm not talking about the people at the architect levels, but at the growing levels, developers, senior developers. Most of the logics are already laid out. You just have to fill in the fill in the blanks by using the standard scripts. Data science is definitely not that. Every project is a challenge. What are your first projects? What are the challenges you face with the first projects in your, let's say, beginning of your career?
Okay. When I started my career, they did not straight away put me into modeling and other stuff. They were like, okay, you are someone who is really new, relatively new to the sphere. Have that experience of cleaning data and analyzing data. And to be very honest, that is where the major crux of work is. So if you try to understand, we do not spend much time. I mean, while modeling, we say suppose we have 4 sprints. Out of that, we consider around 1 or 1.5 sprint for modeling, actually modeling and deployment. So rather than that, data cleaning and pre-processing takes a lot of time, and that is more of a challenge. So my first project was with Procter and Gamble, PNG. So as you know that this is a retail and manufacturing business. So yes, we were kind of developing a model to understand the buying pattern of the customers. So yes, that's how it went for the first project. It was very challenging. To be very honest, I was not that great at Python. To be very honest, I thought that I'm good at Python, but yes, once you step into the industry, you learn a lot of things. And yeah, and it comes with experience. It comes with experience, and
Right.
real world problems are very great to handle. I mean, you get to learn a lot.
Yeah. So in your PNG project, how many people were there? Were you given a chance of learning from the people who are already working on the same project, or you're just dropped into the project? And how was it?
So we had a couple of people who had joined in. Obviously, it was a project which started from scratch, so I had the maximum time to learn things and how to understand the project, understand the business prospect. I was working with around a team of 4. Along with that, we had a data science architect who was having around 14.5 years of experience. His experience came in handy, trying to understand the logic behind it. On top of that, I did actually learn a lot from my seniors who were in the project already.
Okay.
But yes, on top of that, what I felt is learning from them is a thing. But if we research by ourselves, we can always explore new domains, and we can always find new gates to open.
Okay. Perfect. I mean, I totally agree with that. Nowadays, the plethora of support online available. We do need a senior person to help the particular project. Maybe he has a domain experience, but apart from that, there are plethora of projects. Good that you had someone senior in your project, which you're able to utilize and learn. The next question: how important was the domain knowledge? I mean, how much time you spent on understanding the business case of your first project, PNG case, when compared to the time you spent on, deploying the models and stuff? What was the effort you put on understanding the business case itself?
Yeah. So coming to this, basically we need to, okay, first, how does the project go in? Is we are given a business problem, so we have to find. I mean, have to find a viable solution for that. So when it comes to understanding the business, that's where the game lies. We have to understand the business so that we come in and deliver a solution. It the A solution, a data science driven solution, can be affected by multiple factors which are specific to each and every domain. So here, understanding of business and what factors could actually pitch in and cause a, say suppose a spike or a fall in the prediction actually matters. So I actually spent, to be very honest, the first project itself, I tried to gain a lot of knowledge on the retail and manufacturing side. On the particular project, yes, I did. But on the longer run, one must always spend time to understand the business. That is the top priority. If we know the business, only then we can deliver a solution. Otherwise, it's just we are not actually using our intelligence here. We'll just copy paste and write some stuff which might not be that efficient.
Right, and that's why you say that domain knowledge is one of the key knowledge in your data science project.
Correct.
How long this project took? What's the duration of this project, Suvesh?
The development and the deployment, starting from gathering data and other stuff, was around 5 months, and then it went into operations. where it went on with junior folks who handled the project, basically rerunning the model and trying to figure out new patterns and again deploying it back, right? I
It's
was
more
moved
like,
to another project.
okay, that's great. So it's more like managing the machine learning operation,
Correct.
MLOps. Okay. Okay. What I would like to ask, what's the next project as well?
Yep.
But
So the next project was very interesting where I pitched in. So this was more of a research analytics. So this company Procter and Gamble was trying to invest on a project which involved a lot of image forensics. So these people, Procter and Gamble being such a big company, they run a lot of campaigns all over the world. So by these campaigns, they want to understand a lot of things. What is the buying pattern, inventory management, and how if the sales are going down, how is it going down, what all those kind of things. So you know what, PNG launches every probably every second day they launch a campaign, and this here we were trying to understand what are the buying patterns and what are the customers actually buying. So we were given a lot of receipts, okay, receipt data as in images of the receipt. These receipts, I mean, if you are a customer, you go into a Walmart or a Kroger and you buy some products, PNG products. So once these products are bought, a customer who clicks a picture of the product and uploads it into a specific directory, those people were given discounts in the upcoming purchase, right? So
yeah.
here we had a lot of things like object detection, OCR, image cleaning, and lot of things. On top of that, we by using the data from the OCR, we used to collate things and try to understand the buying pattern as well.
Okay. Very comprehensive. Great. So you've been really enjoying the project, isn't it?
I am. I'm currently. I'm not in retail and manufacturing domain. I thought like, okay, I have enough knowledge on it. I looked out for a change. So I had around 3 offers when I joined Axtria. So I joined Axtria just for the reason that, okay, this is life science and healthcare where I do not have my footprints. So trying to understand the domain a little bit more, and life science is very, currently it's the need of the hour.
Correct. And they have a lot of money. So
Correct.
one of the highest paying industry as well. So
Yes.
you're moving from retail to life science. That's very interesting because yeah, so you have a flexibility of moving between industry as a data scientist, right? That's one of the unique aspect of data science. If you are, let's say, if you're an analyst in one of the data analysts in one of the industries, I don't think it's easy to move from the industry to industry, right? Because your entire knowledge is industry knowledge. But when it comes to data scientist, what do you think about it?
See, to be very honest, at this phase, I mean, if I am an experienced person, and there are people who are freshers, and if at this age we are picking up something which was not our forte and coming into data science, then we are already up for the challenge, right? So yes, I mean, why not taking up new challenge? This is the time to learn. This is where I consider myself, I am a little touch ahead of the data science fraternity. I mean, learning something new, switching to new domains. I understand it will be little bit challenging, little bit difficult at the first go, but yes, I mean, that's how I understand. That's how I learned about the retail and manufacturing industry. It took me some time, but I was able to do it.
Very, very nice. Well, the machine learning and data science part as a horizontal knowledge, I think you have a very good now grip now. The only thing you need to learn at this time when you're switching after 2 years is about the domain knowledge. When you get the domain
Correct.
knowledge, you can fit in your the data science and machine learning knowledge into it.
Yeah. On top of that, it's more about lot of things which you are interested into. So data science, I to be very honest, currently the moment you step into your house, you are playing with data. You switch on your lights via a voice control device. Now that's data science for you. So data science, the crux of saying that is because data science is now everywhere and is used variedly everywhere. So why not look into something which is new? I mean, if we know, if we have different domain knowledge, you can switch into companies or into projects that easily.
Okay.
So there's a lot of opportunities is what I meant to say.
All right. That's very promising. I'm not. I want to know how is the growth rate. Not looking at the numbers here, but what's the percentage of growth you would see in like 1 year, 2 year? Right now, you're 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Can you give me some high level indications? How is the growth?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll talk in terms of the numbers. The first time around, I got promoted. I stepped into a data science role. I at least I actually expected around 50% of a growth, but surprisingly, I got 112% growth in my first job
Okay.
as a data scientist. And after 2 years of experience and after learning a lot into research analytics and stuff, the current company which I've switched this last month itself, that's giving me around, in India, that is giving me around 300% hike. And when it comes to Europe, it is giving me around 900% hike.
Okay, so let me look at the numbers. From when you switch to data scientist, you got 100% hike roughly, right? And then
Yeah.
if you cumulatively look at it,
Yeah.
now you have 600% hike from the time you started your first career, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it? Because 200 into 300%, it's 600% hike from the time you haven't, like you were the first, when you're first switching into the data science career. That's very impressive. Of course, Europe, you get 900%, but let me tell you, your cost will go up. So, yeah, of course. So if you go to Europe, I've been in Europe for 9 years. We think that we can save a lot, but at the end of the day, the savings remain more or less. The lifestyle will be definitely great.
Yes.
Happy for you. And okay, so the average growth you could expect is about 200 to 300%, at least for the first few years, is what I definitely. All right, excellent. Um, well, most people who are jumping into data science and machine learning, they are really looking at the growth in terms of the salaries, right? But that's the main point. I mean, let's be more honest on it. Apart from that, what are the things? I mean, first we started with it's very interesting job. It's not like apart from that, anything else? How do you feel within your company? How do your colleagues, like other divisions, look you? Are they look up to you like a superheroes? how is that within your company? How is your yeah?
Okay. I'll go a touch back
Sure.
behind. The thing is, when I first came to Bangalore around 2016, so like every other engineer, I started up with Java, core Java, and lot of stuff, getting into testing and other stuff. Then as I am an electrical engineer, I did not have any idea into Java and stuff. Okay, so when I joined a classroom training program, I joined that program, and in a batch, I found around 400 people joining that batch. So I was like, okay, if there are 400 people in one batch, so how many Java developers will we have, and what will be my status in the company? How will I mark a difference among, say, suppose around 20,000 people? It is very difficult. And then now, comparing to that, now data scientist, okay, the tagline itself says data, you are a data scientist. There are a lot of people, who are not in the industry. When they hear that, okay, he's a senior data scientist, they do value that. On top of that, your colleagues, as you can see currently how the trend is, everyone wants their foot into this world. Everyone wants to become a data scientist. That is how this job role is treated currently in the market. Data scientists are very differently rated here. I mean, they the as I believe I read a couple of few months back that Forbes magazine once quoted it. It's the best job in the decade. So
Okay.
that's how recognized you go.
Okay, so it's not just the buzzword and the marketing thing. It's a real thing that data scientists are actually valued, are respected a lot in the organization, and
It
also the
is.
yeah,
It is.
and also the career growth is like 300% year on year. That's wonderful. Okay, so I know that you came from a completely different domain, not from data science domain. So there are people, I mean, we have people, like a lot of people switching from mechanical and many other electrical. I mean, I'm from an electrical as well, right? So I worked in power plant for quite some time. So we switched into this domain, and we know that we are doing it. There are a lot of people. So a lot of people still think that maybe you can switch, but survival is a problem for non IT guys. I'm pretty sure. I mean, of course, it's not true, right? You're doing great, but do you think it's like is it like usually that non IT guys survive very well in data science? Did you see anyone falling out after joining, saying, "Oh, it's not my piece of cake. I'm going to find another job"? Did you see any that kind of phenomena?
What I understand is people get bored out in a job which they do every single day. Maybe I am telling you about myself. I was a testing engineer, and I seriously got bored. It is a monotonous robotic lifestyle. Okay, you come in and you run some test cases. That's it. That's the end of the world for you. So there is a lot of chances of dropping out and looking for other reasons, other job domains. But as a data scientist, every day comes up with a new challenge. So the drop rate at this sphere is not at all a chance, because you people here, okay, coming to the other side, people here do get attracted towards the knowledge and the money which people give. On top of that, the respect which you earn in your company, there is a lot of chances that people won't drop out. And to be very honest, I never thought of going back. I always thought of getting to the next step, learning how to design a data science architecture, doing a lot of new domain research. I mean, getting, okay, we are providing X product to the customer. How about we add new things? How about we propose new things and get new things in on board, right? So it is being I myself is a electrical engineer. Survival survival to be very honest, survival is a challenge for everyone, be it data science, be it any other domain. But the reason survival is little easier here is because you will get interest. You will try to understand what you are doing. You will not just go and run test cases and run your monotonous lifestyle.
Okay, right. We're to the point. Thank you very much. You're not married, are you?
No, I am not. I'm not.
So the next question on work-life balance, right? You being working 2 years, how is the work-life balance with as a data scientist?
The work life, see, the thing is, we do not do monotonous tasks. So our tasks are dependent on our see, where we say, okay, there are two things to it. There is hard work, there is smart work. Okay, so where the place where you use your intelligence, that is definitely categorized as smart work. My work life balance is completely sorted. I have my call starting from 11 o'clock, and I generally end it at 8:30. But yes, I do watch a lot of videos. To be very honest, I go to a lot of institutions like IISC and stuff. I have people over there who actually help me attend these mathematical sessions. into statistics and a lot of other stuff. That helps me on my research. Currently working, I am planning to write a white paper on image forensics. That's where my time goes. I mean, to be very honest, the interest the interest I have for this field, the interest of knowledge which we develop here, actually fits into the work-life balance. I mean, you can fit in wherever, whatever you want in your work-life balance.
Okay. So, I mean, if there is a such thing called as work-life balance, because a lot of people enjoy work and they really think their life is actually work. I mean, in spite of whether they are married or not married, it differs to person. But I get the point that you can fine tune your work-life balance because this field has the flexibility. If you are more aggressive, if you are more passionate, you can put more time on learning new things. But if you want to just deliver the work which is required by your organization, you can basically stick to a limited number of hours and have your life. Isn't
Trust
it?
me, Ashok. Trust me, Ashok, and everyone. I am a travel enthusiast. I did travel last 6 months. I've been traveling in North maybe a couple of times. I am a music. I love music. I play a bass guitar. I've been trained 11 years. I love cooking, and I could still manage that on top of my job.
I didn't know that you have so many skills and so many hobbies. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, when are you going to play a guitar in our office? Yeah, when you're leaving to Belgium. I'm just kidding. All right.
I'm heading out to Belgium on 18th of March.
Okay, 6 weeks, 6 days. So everything packed up.
Yep, quite a bit.
Okay, so you're still preparing. Very good. Okay, so I think anything else you want to cover? I think we covered most of the things. I have a few questions in the YouTube channels and other channels. Which
Mhm.
before that, do you want to cover anything to any
Yep.
message you want to give for people?
Yes. So basically, people out here or people who are listening to me, it is first of all, it is the sheer interest if you have into a domain. Do not let that fire go off. Try to learn. Try to gain new knowledge every single time. And in the world of data science, until and unless you fail, you will never taste success. To be very honest, I love to fail. I love when my model is not successful, because I know that okay, in X number of ways I can fail. So I know the right way. So the entire data science industry or the prediction world works on those lines where you fail, and you learn, and you finally gather that success. So you might be seeing people getting frustrated when suppose a normal developer who is working on a button functionality does not work and gets frustrated. But here I find myself happy. Okay, I failed. I now know how to succeed, right? I now know one reason how I can fail. Now I am a step closer to success. On top of that, always if we are switching a job, let's give it that justice to ourselves. Let's give us that justice. Let's as Ashok said, people are fine. People say that okay, it is challenging and all. I find that until and unless we step out of our comfort zone, we will never understand what a real success is. Mediocrity, mediocre thinking won't give us success. If we want to taste success, we need to have the knowledge of failure as well. That's it.
Okay, it's more like a motivational speech.
Yep.
Thank you. So I mean, every single point you meant is true, and I agree with that. Great. So I have some people raising hands to ask question. Lawrence, please go ahead.
Hello, good morning from my end.
Lawrence, your voice is feeble. Can you please go ahead and ask?
Good morning from my end.
Hey, good morning. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been listening to our brother Suvesh with all his explanation, and I'm happy to be part of this webinar. I've learned a lot. That when you fail, you get up
Thank
again
you.
and move. Yeah. But my question is, I have already choose data science as a career path. What I want to ask is, after finalizing the course, where will this lead me? Will I be able to earn a job out of my country, or I'll just have a job in my own country?
Okay. So I'll just, I mean, maybe it's not very clear. Are you able to get that question, Suvesh, or should I repeat that?
No,
Okay, I'll repeat that. So, well, he essentially thanked, and then the question is, how easy to get a job outside his country? I don't know which country are you from, Lawrence, but essentially, I think the broader question he is trying to ask: what are the global opportunities? I guess.
Mhm. So okay, currently, you can read about, you can read a lot of articles where you find, okay, in, okay, the place where I'm in India, there it will, in next around 5 years, we'll have 50% of our data science positions open and looking out for people. So currently, I will tell, the market is a sponge. As much as you have knowledge, the company wants to invest in that knowledge. So market is at a sponge. To be very honest, a little bit of effort and practice should fetch you a job. And talking about opportunities in Europe, USA, and in other sectors, there are a lot of opportunities. To be very honest, I am an engineer. I was an engineer having around 5 or close to 6 years of experience. If I have opportunities from multiple places, then I think others will also have. And prior to this, I would, if you are looking out for jobs abroad, I was in Singapore for Mindtree as well, for around 8 to 9 months just before the COVID breakdown. So when it comes to opportunities, be sure that the market is at a sponge level. You have the knowledge, they are ready to hire you.
Okay. Just to add to what you said, UK especially is openly inviting um, a lot of opportunities. I mean, they're taking care of everything if you have the skill set they need, right? And well, I'm also looking at, starting my small consulting firm in UK for the same reason. There are plenty of opportunities, and US, of course, has. I'm not. I can't say the right numbers, but it's in hundreds of thousands of opportunities per year coming from outside, right? That's a minimum number I can tell you in terms of. So if you are good, you have decent knowledge, maybe have some experience. I don't think people, if you want to go abroad, I think a couple of years you need to work in your place, gain the knowledge, practical knowledge, and then you should start looking outside. Yeah, I have one question from iFroz Sayad from YouTube. So he is asking about, I think it's something we answered before, changing domain to data scientists, what challenges mainly we are facing. I think you already answered. Maybe you can add maybe a sentence, Suvesh.
Yeah, changing domain. See, I somewhat believe that changing domains while in Ashok, what I understood from the question is switching from different job, maybe from testing to data science, or changing domains within the data science hemisphere.
No, I think the question is more on the changing from a different domain, like let's say testing or mechanical.
Okay. 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 So, seriously talking about it, it is about intent. In testing, in a development environment, wherever we go in the current world, the first thing which we touch is data. So, to be very honest, why I wanted to join data science is because I was very fascinated. Okay, why do we have gazillion number of data, but how is it making sense to a company? And to be very honest, prior to the prior data science, people really do not know how to make use of their data. They just had their data. That is why you will see a lot of companies did not actually look around for saving the data or keeping it secure or maintaining that long data, right? But currently, data, saving this data, having this data on premise with you is the key thing which is going around in all the companies. So switching domains from other domains to data science is fairly up to you. And the thing is, it's not that difficult, to be very honest. I got really fascinated. Okay, what is the, okay, I am playing around with a lot of data. Why is it so important, and what do I need to do? So it is not at all difficult until and unless you have the intent to it.
Okay, thank you, Suvesh. I think that answers the question. There's the next question also from YouTube. Which tool is being used in industry for data science programming? I think you're asking about the popular tools we use in practical projects.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, let me be clear here. The first company, around 1.5 years, I worked with Mindtree and Procter & Gamble. I was using Python as my programming language. On top of that, I was using Power BI, Tableau, and few things like, I mean, from a database prospect, I have used a lot of structured and unstructured databases like MongoDB, Postgre, SQL, Azure SQL, a lot of things. But to be very honest, cloud knowledge like Azure or AWS environment, how do we deploy things into Azure? How do we deploy things in SageMaker? There are a lot of things in the cloud which are really important for when it comes to development and the retrieving of data or deploying a model. So these are the few things. But now currently I am working on a project which has R into it. I'm currently working with R Shiny application. R Shiny application trying to leverage a life science solution into a R Shiny application. So to be very honest, 95% of the time you'll use Python, but yes, the other 5% you can consider it as R. And yes, database knowledge is really important. Basically, tool wise, it is not that, I mean, I would not say that it will make a rather big difference. If you know the logic behind it, that's what really matters. The logic, if you know what to do, the how to do becomes an easy question to answer.
Okay, right. So I agree with Suvesh. In fact, the projects we are currently doing, we use Azure ML, AWS. If the client is okay with the cloud structure, the client doesn't want to work with the public cloud, then we'll go with the TensorFlow, the one which he is wearing on the T-shirt. You got it from TensorFlow?
Yeah, I went into a community and where I had to speak about TensorFlow a bit. So yes, that's
So TensorFlow, PyTorch are the ones which are go-to platforms when it comes to when you're doing something on premises. If the client or if the business is okay with the cloud, we go with Azure ML or Microsoft SageMaker to answer the question. We have a lot of questions. I think most of them are already kind of answered. So I'm going to only pick the questions which is not being answered. I have a question from Sumit in the chat itself, in the webinar chat. How about opportunities for people from mechanical automotive industry? You're not from mechanical, right, Suvesh?
No, I am not. But I'll be happy to answer it.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So, Sumit, when we say I am from a mechanical background, I mean, what is the hint? I mean, you know what the problem is? So what if I'm from a mechanical background? Even I was from an electrical background. The only thing which I feel in the current industry, a Java developer or a normal testing engineer, what they do is they even when I came from a non-coding background, it was difficult for me to understand things. Okay, but you know what? Here the problem is not all about the language or the basic functionality. Here the challenge is more about understanding and taking your decisions. And once you see the magic which the data does, the magic which the model prediction does, and the outcome which you get. I mean, if you see your model is doing great and is actually getting something out of getting the company benefited, if the company is getting benefited, it is actually very easy thing to learn. And to be very honest, I don't know why there is a big hype around people that data science is very difficult. Nothing, in my words, in what I consider is, until and unless you know something, until and unless you do not know something, that is difficult, and the day you learn it, it's easy. So switching from mechanical, be it any domain, from I have people who are coming from aeronautical engineering. I have people who are actually from the mechanical background as well. There are a lot of mechanical engineers who are into the healthcare industry as well, who work with lot of devices which are used in OT and other stuff. So they are currently into data science. These mechanical machines or whatever, they are currently switching into data science and robotics. So the structure behind it goes as AI. So that's very interesting, and one should always thrive for it.
Right. Thank you, Suvesh. Hope that answers. Just to add a few more things. So there are two areas you look at. Either you want to stay in your mechanical domain and adapt data science as an extra skill, then all of things Suvesh has said makes is a very good opportunity for you. You can work for automotive manufacturers like BMW, Robert Bosch, or even OEMs which supply precision instruments to the automotive manufacturers. Or you can become a data scientist and you can switch to any domain. So it depends on how passionate about your core domain. If you want to stay in your core domain as well as have a data science as a skill, there are a lot of opportunities. Or if you just want to become a data scientist, freely moving to any domains, there are a lot of opportunities. As Suvesh said, it is an applied field, so it will take maybe a year for you to get there. But anyone who has enthusiasm, passion can definitely get there.
I also had an offer from Volvo, which was into more of automobile industry, and wanted someone to build data science modules for them. So the opportunities are there in each and every domain.
Okay, I think we are coming to the end of the session. I have a lot of questions coming in. One question from Saujanya, and her question, actually a bunch of questions. How can a fresher look into data domain? And that's the first question. Second question, for a fresher who is looking forward to entering data science field, how domain knowledge plays. Okay, so Suvesh, I'll just quickly wrap this answer, right? It's not really. So well, I as on now, today I have trained more than 18,000 people, out of which more than 50% are freshers. So an opportunity in data scientists, in the data science for freshers is huge for two reasons. Because you are affordable, you cannot afford someone like Suvesh is going 900%. So the people who already been in this domain for a couple of years, they become very expensive. So freshers always have an opportunity, because any project you take, more than 50% constitute freshers. They're curious, they're affordable. So that's answers your the second question.
Saujanya, I wasted my 3 years. It's good that you are not wasting your 3 years.
Okay. All right. So I have another question saying I passed out in he graduated in 2019. Any problems, sir? Definitely no problem. I mean, of course, you have to justify that you're learning or doing something this period, but have a quick internships and you should be fine. That's okay. Another question from Vinod. Okay, so I think same question. Okay, so I'm going to wind up because 45 minutes is what is this time. I do not have any important questions in other channels as well, as I can see. Okay, so that's all. Thank you very much, Suvesh. So few tips for you going to Belgium. Don't pack any Indian masalas, because you find plenty over there. I can guarantee you. And I have hundreds of friends over there in Belgium. So I can ask him to support you if you need any.
No,
Also,
I'll be back around in 4 months. I have to get married, so I have to come back to
oh,
India, get married, and then fly back again to Belgium.
okay, that's like a double good news. That's wonderful. So, is your partner also traveling back to Belgium, right?
Yes.
Yeah, then you need to register yourself to municipality very quick so that you can get a visa for her. Otherwise, you're gonna stay there and she's gonna stay here. That's not a good construction,
Correct.
right? So,
Correct.
plan in such a way that you guys move in after the marriage.
Yep.
Good. So I'm happy for you. Thank you for your time to helping the aspirants, especially with the 2 years of experience. We have more things to learn because you've experienced we get more insights about how the actual data science job will look after a few years.
People can still reach out to me on my LinkedIn profile. I mean, if you still have something to ask me, you can still reach out to me on LinkedIn. I hope. I mean, okay. If anyone can help me out putting that in the chat, I don't know how.
I'll put it. And in fact, when we send the recording to all the people who registered, we will send your LinkedIn profile so that if any questions, they can reach out.
Sure.
Okay, that's all. I wish you a safe journey, and thank you very much for your time. And thank you everyone attending this session. Thank you, Suvesh. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.